join us on a beautiful day like today. I want to thank everybody and to welcome you. My name is Aurora Orozco. I'm the product sales manager at the Pleasantville office, and the whole team is here with us. So first of all, we have Roberta Perego, our senior product manager from the Poughkeepsie office. We have Marianne Brell from the New City office, and we have Liz Febola from the Middletown office. So thank you again for joining us. As you know, it has been a great cookie season. We want to thank all our excited Girl Scouts, their energetic parents, and their enthusiastic leaders and cookie chairs. We really want to be very thankful to all of you. But we have to close down soon for a much needed summer break. Here are the things we want to be sure you know so you can close out your sale. First of all, I would like you to check that everybody's listening. We're going to be stopping for questions. So if you have any, you can start typing them as we go. And we're going to be recording the webinar. So if you have any questions or if you miss something, you can listen to the webinar later whenever you have the time to do it. So now everybody's muted, and we're going to be starting, with the questions soon. Cookie season isn't quite ready to wrap up. We just want to get we just want you to get prepared. We still have a couple of weeks left. Here are some suggestions. As you can see, we have girls that they can still go outside and ask customers if they want to buy. A lot of customers don't buy because they never get approached by girls. So if you have a few leftovers, don't be shy. Get your girls, go out, especially on a day like this. Go to your neighbors, say hello, and offer them the cookies. You can do rolling booths. You can go to games, soccer games. There are so many options. So keep rolling those cookies. That will add profit to your troop. And also it would be good for the girls for the rewards and their credits. Regional offices cupboards will be open through May 16th. So you still have time for a last minute booth. Here's a quick checklist. We will see more about this later, but a word about March booths. If you deposited to TD Bank for your March booth and did not give us your validated deposit slip, you have to email it, scan it to us, take a picture. We need to have that no later than tomorrow because, ACH is coming and then they will take out the money for that booth. So you don't want that. So please, if you didn't do it, if you don't know what's the bank account, it's TD Bank, and you can call any of your product sales. We will give you the bank account so you can go to the TD Bank and make a deposit. And don't forget to keep your profits. Okay, so ACH Sweeps. In the troop guide, in the troop book, we had a few dates, but now they changed a little bit. May 7th would be the first ACH, but that will only cover 50% of the initial order. Then on May 21st would be the second ACH. The sweep will cover the balance of the initial order and all cookies picked up from cupboards, all your booths, all your goal getters, okay? Email from finance with details of the sweep were sent out yesterday to the first person listed on the contact tab for the troop. So if you're the cookie chair and you are number 2 or 3, maybe you didn't get that email, but you can ask the the troop leader, and she will be able to explain to you if you have any questions. Now we have Roberta.
Okay, so we're going to do some eBuddy Live, hopefully, in 1 minute. Okay, so my fellow presenters, are you seeing my screen?
We are.
Okay.
Yes.
All righty. So we're going to start by looking at an initial order screen, and there's a few things to point out on this screen. This shows you what your girls ordered in initial order. It shows you, these are the totals by variety. This is the total of the gift of caring cookies that you need. These are the actual cases that you were ordered, because as you know, eBuddy rounds up to full cases. And these on the bottom row are the cookies that were left over from eBuddy rounding up. These cookies were a total of 52 boxes. I added them up on my calculator. That's the one thing eBuddy doesn't show us, which I wish it did, but it doesn't. So you needed 87 for your gift of caring, but you only have 52 left over. So when you subtract that 52 from the 87 that you need, it shows that you still needed 35 boxes to fulfill your gift of caring. There are several ways you could get those boxes. If you did booth sales, you might have had some cookies left over from a booth sale. If not, you just put an order into a cupboard by the box to pick up enough boxes to fulfill that 35. So this is one thing that we want you to look at on your initial order and make sure that you have enough cookies to fulfill the total that you need. If this is a positive balance, then that would mean that you have more than enough cookies to meet your gift of caring. Okay, so now we're going to go to the transactions screen. The transactions screen shows all the cookies that have come into your troop and gone out of your troop. Cupboard 111 is digital cookie. eBuddy had to set up a special cupboard for all those orders to go through. So that's what that is. This particular troop got cookies from cupboard 1, which is Poughkeepsie, for booth sales or for goal-getters. This one might have been a goal-getter, or maybe they just needed a couple cases to fill out for a booth sale. These two are probably booth sales, just judging by the amount. You can, and this down here, if you have something that says GSW, that means Girl Scout Week. We had separate cupboards for Girl Scout Week. So this troop had 2 orders during Girl Scout Week from cupboard 1. So you want to look at all of these transactions, and you want to make sure that there isn't something there that is not yours. And you want to make sure there's not a double entry. So for example, if you had 2 orders from Girl Scout Week cupboard, but you know you only had 1, or you think you only had 1, if these 2 orders were identical, then I would say there was a mistake made and we might have to delete one of those. So if you see something that looks like it's a mistake, like something was entered twice, even a regular booth sale, then check with us on it. Also, all of your pickups should be unpended by the time you go home with those cookies. This one is not. So now this tells me that I need to go back and look at this troop and see if they did pick the cookies up and I just didn't unpen the order. Or maybe they never did pick the cookies up and I need to cancel it. So if you see something like that, you want to check all of this, make sure that all of this is right. And you can sort these things to make them easier. So you can click on any of these little triangles. Now it's going to sort by second party. So now you can see the 3 orders right in a row that were picked up from my cupboard. You can see all of the digital cookies right in a row, and you can see the Girl Scout Week ones. This one here is your initial delivery for this troop. You could also sort by pickup date if you had a bunch of pickups from a cupboard that you might want to sort by that. Or the date that you entered the order. This would be the date that this digital cookie order came through. So those are all of the things, and we want you to look at that screen to find any mistakes. We did have a few issues when the Girl Scout Week cupboards were transferred over, and there were some instances of duplicate orders being in there. So make sure you check that. Okay, next we're going to go to the girl order screen. This is the one that you really are interested in right now, because this is where you're going to assign those booth cookies to girls and those goal-getter cookies. So I'm not going to do anything in this troop. We're just going to look at it. Then I'm going to go to a different one to actually show you how to do this. But you can see this line says the troop order. This is how many, oopsie, I didn't mean to do that. This is how many cookies came into your troop. So that's your initial order plus all of your digital cookie orders plus your booth sales. That's how many cookies came in. This is how many have been assigned to girls. So the initial order is automatically assigned. The digital cookies are automatically assigned. There are 769 here that are not assigned. Those are probably those booth sales. So now we're going to want to assign cookies to a girl. But I'm going to go someplace where I can actually do that. This is actually a troop. We have to have a troop to put our Juliets in. So this is one of those troops. There's only one girl in here because it's a Juliet troop. But I can show you hers. She has 20 boxes that were not assigned. And this is how we're going to assign her some boxes. So first we're going to click on her name. And now you see all of the orders that she had. She did a lot of online business. And we're going to, one thing I can point out here, you should have seen it already, but if you see a DOC delivered, these are the cookies that were ordered for in-person delivery. In eBuddy, it doesn't show any number of cookies. It only shows the amount of money, and it was paid. So those cookies needed to go onto the initial order. Hopefully, all of you did that. There are a couple of ways you could have found that out. But in case you haven't noticed that before, delivered is in person, and their cookies do not show on this screen. There are other places you can get them. So now we have to assign 20 boxes to Shannon. So we're going to add a transaction, and we get these green boxes at the bottom. In this box, you can put an identifier. I'm going to say last booth sale. You don't have to use that, but if it helps you to identify where those cookies were coming from, you can put something in there. For our booth sale boxes, we're going to look for this column that says cookie booth, and I'm going to assign her 10 boxes for her booth sale. Now, the money section over here, this information is strictly for your use. It doesn't go anyplace else in eBuddy. This is the only place for this information. You can use it if you choose to. If you want to use this to keep track of whether the girls have paid all of their money or not. A lot of troops do their own spreadsheets and do it differently and don't even bother with this. But if you're going to use it, when you enter cookies for a booth sale, you do want to put the total amount of money that was due, and you're going to put it in the paid column because it's already paid. So we're assuming that these were all $4 boxes, so it's $40. And we've put that in, and now we're going to save that transaction. Okay, now if I go back to the summary screen, I will see she's only got 10 boxes left to assign. So now we're going to assign some of those boxes. So again, we click on the girl, we click add a transaction. Okay. So these are going to be goal-getter orders that we're going to assign to her. So I'm just going to put, oops, GG. And this one goes under cookie other. And I'm going to put 10 boxes in there. And we'll say that she paid me. So that's another $40. Now, if there were boxes that were Toffee-Tastics or s'mores, those go under a different column because of the prices. So if it was at a booth sale and you're crediting a girl with 2 boxes of s'mores, it goes under special booth. And if she had a goal-getter order for 2 boxes of s'mores, you would put that under special other. If you had cookies that at a booth sale, people gave you money for op-drop cookies, and you don't want to handle those cookies, you could put those numbers under op-drop column when you're entering the girls' orders, figure out who you're going to give it to. If you want them in your hand, you can put them under the GOC column. When you're doing this, goal-getter cookies definitely get assigned to the girl who sold them. But with booth cookies, generally they're divided amongst the girls who were at the booth sale. When you're looking at their totals, which we're not seeing on this screen, so let me save this and go back to the summary screen. In fact, I'm going to go back to the other troop that I was looking at. Okay, so these are these girls' totals. So let's see. We don't have anybody who, well, this girl has 101 boxes. If she hits 110, she gets $15 of do-si-do. So you could make the choice to give her extra booth cookies. Let's say that 8 boxes is what was going to be assigned for each booth, which would have given her 109. You can, it's up to you if you want to give her that extra box so that she reaches that level. The same is true for any other reward level. If a girl is really close, and if it won't bring anybody else down, you can adjust those numbers a little bit from booth sales to give the girls a little edge. It's really a shame to be 1 or 2 boxes away from a next reward level. So that option is up to you. Okay, we've done the data transaction, and we've seen the screen after the transactions are done. I think we're ready for questions. So I'm going to turn it back to Marianne.
Roberta, will you show us how to, someone's asking, how do you order from the cupboard? Can you show us that transaction, how to do that?
Certainly. I'm going to go back to this other troop because I can delete things that I really didn't want to save. I'll remember that troop. Okay, so let's say she wants to order some cookies from a cupboard. So it's your transaction screen, and you click on Add a Transaction, and you get this lovely screen. When you click on Pickup, you have this lovely calendar. Now, if you're doing this from a phone, you probably will not get the calendar. That's what I've been told by people. So then you can, I think you can just type in the date that you want to pick up the cookies. But if you get the calendar, you can click on a date and then a time. And it needs to be a time when the cupboard is open. So let me, in fact, let me cancel that. Let me cancel that. And, oh, okay. So to find out the hours, you can click on the cupboard first. And there's the hours of operation. So if you click on the cupboard first, you can see the hours. So now we're going to put a date in here and a time. So we're going to make it 10 a.m. And then you're adding, this is correct because you're adding cookies to your troop, and you just put in what you want. If you're getting a booth order, you would change this to booth. And then you have to, I don't know why it does this, but then you have to switch it back to cupboard. If you're ordering, and then you would order in cases. So you would just put the numbers in here.
And you're ordering cases because it's a booth.
Correct. Then you would click OK, and then click Save on this screen. Now, once you've done that, you can't change it. So if you look at this and you say, oh my gosh, I really should have gotten 2 cases of trefoils, you can put in an additional order for a case of trefoils. You can send an email to the cupboard person and say, hey, please, I will need to add a case. Or when you go to pick them up, you can say, you know what, I need another case of trefoils. And then we in the cupboard can make that change in eBuddy, and it will show up in your troop. So let's say you just want goal-getter cookies. You're still going to choose a pickup time, date and time. And I'm going to show you a wrong one. Why not, right? So I put in here, I wanted to get it at 6 a.m. And I wanted 2 Savannah Smiles and 5 trefoils and 2 do-si-dos and 6 Samoas and 3 tagalongs and 10 mints and 5 s'mores and 2 toffee-tastics. And I click OK. And I should get an error message. And I did. It says pickup time. This is the identification code for the order. Must be within hours of operation for cupboard 1. So I'll say, okay. So now I got to go back and I got to change the time because so if you get that kind of a message, you need to go back and check the time. And you click OK and save as well. That's how you do it. Okay.
Thank you. We do have several questions. So someone would like to know, how do we enter donated funds?
Donated funds?
Yes, I'm thinking that the person probably had a booth sale and they had people put money into a jar. And my answer to that would be, you figure out how many boxes that's going to buy. If the donated funds are for donated boxes and you buy the cookies, you would go in and do a transaction like Roberta just showed as additional purchase of cookies. Or you could also take that money, put it in the troop bank account, and go in and put in a few drop boxes in the girl orders column for the girls who were at the booth if they had boxes that were donated.
Right. You can only enter boxes. You can't add funds that have no boxes to balance them out. So you have to turn that into boxes of cookies.
I lost the administration box.
Uh-oh.
I can't see questions. Can someone look at that, please?
Yeah, I'm looking at the questions. What if there are boxes that have not been sold? If you have boxes that have not been sold, then you're not going to assign them to anybody. You do have to pay for them, of course. So if you have boxes left and it's 2 weeks from now and you still have boxes left, send an email to all your parents and ask them if they know of anyone who would like cookies. Let them know what you have, and maybe they'll buy an additional box. Otherwise, it comes out of the funds of the troop, and you can donate those cookies then. And you could then put them in an op-drop or in the GOC column and spread them out amongst the girls, even though they didn't technically buy them. But if you're left with them and you're going to donate them to Operation Cookie Drop, or if you can donate them to someplace else. So you might have a food bank or something that you want to donate them to. So you can assign them to girls by putting them in the GOC column.
I see the next question is also if we added the transactions on our booth sale page and distributed to various girls, do we also have to add them to transactions? The answer is no, because the transactions tab is to add cookies to your troops total. So you're ordering them. If you got them for a booth sale, you do not need to enter them into transactions. That would be getting more cookies, which you don't want to do. Do cookie booth sales need to be divided between $4 and $5 cookies for credit to the girls? I would tell you, you only have to do that if you're using those figures on the girl orders tab. If you're using those numbers there and you want to be sure it all balances for you, not for council, because council does not refer to that, then you should distribute them into the $4 and $5 columns. But if you have your own way of keeping track, you do not have to do it.
Right. Does the true profit stay in the account, or does it all get swept and redeposited? It stays with you because eBuddy figures out how much money you owe. It deducts your true profit. It deducts any payments that were made in Digital Cookie, and it gives you the bottom line of what you owe. Now, for this first ACH, it's going to be half of your initial order, and that's all. But in the end, it will all balance out so that you're only paying what you actually owe. And when half of your initial order is figured, it's figured at the $3.30 a box or $3.25 a box if you reach the 75-cent per box profit, or $4.30 and $4.25 for the $5 boxes.
The next question is, I don't have booth sales. I only have a few boxes left of cookies. How do I show that they are sold? You would do the same thing that Roberta was showing. You go into the girl orders tab, click on a girl, and put them in as cookie other, because those later sales are really goal getter sales, and give the girl credit there. For GFC, for our troop, we require 65 boxes of cookies. We can, according to you, get the 65 cookies from either the extras from the initial and booth sales. Is there a place on eBuddy where we need to record this, that we need the extra cookies? Yes, if you need extra cookies, you need to go into the transactions tab and follow the procedure Roberta just showed to order the additional boxes you need to fill the GFC need. Where can we drop off donated cookies? You can drop them off in the offices, but we don't have space for them until probably late May. I would say around May 20th or so, because our cupboards are open until May 16th and we do have limited space. So late in May, and we will get them to the day.
Except for Poughkeepsie, because the Poughkeepsie shop and cupboard will be moving. We aren't sure just where yet or exactly when. So for Poughkeepsie, please contact me. I won't, as Marion said, I won't be able to take any until after the cupboards close, but they may have to come to the Neptune Road office instead of to the shop. So check with me before you bring them in.
Okay, another question is, do we have to record bank deposits in eBuddy? The answer is no, because this deposits tab is not for your account. And the deposits that we've recorded here are March booth deposits, or maybe purchases of cookies in the shops, and your digital deposits are listed in deposits in eBuddy, but not deposits to your bank account as a troop.
Right, and once the ACH is done, that will appear in your deposits screen as an ACH payment. So you don't put anything in there.
I am not sure what this question is. Donated funds, yes, in terms of boxes to apply to the donation company. I'm not sure what that question is. Perhaps someone else on the team understands that, or the person could write maybe a little bit more, and we can get to that later.
I'm not sure what she's asking either.
Team.
We will be discussing final rewards later in the presentation.
And Karen wants to know, can we sell the cookies even after the last day of booth sales? And the answer is yes. If you have leftover cookies, you sell them so you can get the profit. You can get the $4 or $5 back to the troop. People are usually looking for cookies, and mints are delicious frozen in the summer.
The only thing we ask is that they do have a use by date of September 1st. So if you want to sell them at a community event over the summer, that's fine. You can do your own booth sale if you have that many left, and you can sell them there. Or if you want to buy them now and hold them for an event like that, that's fine too. But we do ask that once September comes, that you not sell them at any events, because we have had troops do that even early or mid-September, and we get calls from the customers telling us that they were sold boxes that are out of date. So we just ask that you get them sold before the use by date.
Rewards aren't matching up regarding do-si-do. How do I get correct do-si-do amount to show up? I'm sorry, Dee, I'm not sure what that question is.
I think that's something that I may have to look at with you,
Offline?
Dee.
Okay.
Yeah, because right now, really, the only do-si-do rewards that will show up are on initial order if a girl reached 110 boxes on initial order. The rest won't show up until you've submitted your rewards order. So if you haven't submitted the troops rewards order yet, then that's, it probably isn't in there. And this is the first year we're doing it in eBuddy like that. So hopefully it's all going to be right, but we may have to look at some of them on a case-by-case situation to make sure that they are okay. And get help if we need it. So I'll expect to be hearing from you, Dee.
And we will be looking at rewards later. Do you think, Roberta, we'll be able to see any of that?
No.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I didn't really look at that. So.
Okay. Someone is asking about where she would put her goal getter info, and we did describe already that you would put that in girl orders and add any additional transactions to give girls credit so they get the proper rewards. To clarify, this question says op-drop boxes are virtual and money will be swept, but does the troop not have them, correct? Yes, the troop doesn't have the op-drop boxes if they were ordered in the op-drop column in eBuddy. Some people use the G of C column, which you can see on your screen right now. It's still there. And they use their extras to have donation boxes. Where do we go ahead, Roberta?
Where do we send the donated boxes? I'm not sure exactly what you're asking. If you're asking where you have cookies for Operation Cookie Drop, but you're not going to the load-in event, which we're going to cover later on, then you would bring them to one of our offices when we let you know that it's time, which will be after May 16th. And we'll send out something in eBuddy saying, okay, it's time, you can bring them in. Or you can check with your product manager. If you're asking where did the donated boxes go, they go to the military. If you give them to us, you can have your own recipient if you want to donate to a food pantry or a children's home or shelter or whatever you want to donate them to, your local firefighters or police department. You can do that, but the ones that we collect that are brought to our offices will go to the military via the Operation Cookie Drop program.
Okay, someone's saying that in the rewards section, she can't check the box for the booth sale patch. It's grayed out. Well, eBuddy will figure out if the girl is entitled to a booth patch if she has 25 boxes in eBuddy under booth, whether it's the $4 column or the $5 column. It will add those two if they're in two different places, but if she has 25 boxes entered in the girl order column under booth, she will be earning that patch.
Right, it's automatic. You don't have to fill that out. That's why it's grayed out.
Where do we pick up final rewards? Well, those final rewards, we will talk about them in a few minutes. The final rewards go to the service unit cookie chair, and that person distributes out to troops. And I think, Roberta, you just answered this question. Are you distributing the donated cookies to each troop of choice, or do we have to do that ourselves?
You just have to get them to us if you have cookies.
And you want them to go to the military.
Right.
Will this webinar be available for those who were not able to attend? Tina, it will be available. We're recording now, and hopefully tomorrow afternoon. We need our tech help to get it up, but we will put it on the girlscoutshh.org website. Click on cookies and then volunteers over to the left and scan down some, and there you will see the webinar that you can click on and listen and watch.
Mm-hmm. I have $8 donated and want to opt drop. How do I enter? If you want them to be virtual, you don't want to touch them, then you just go into your girl orders screen. And so that's 2 boxes. So you can assign those 2 boxes to 1 girl or 1 box each to 2 girls and put them in the opt drop column.
Someone's asking about a damaged box she got. I think, Julie, you should just call us about that. But if anyone got a damaged box, we are very happy to replace that with a nice looking, beautiful Girl Scout cookie box.
There are several questions about rewards, but we're going to be covering rewards. So we're not going to answer those questions right now because we probably are covering them in the presentation.
The amount go ahead, Roberta.
When we say the office is to drop off the boxes, it is wherever the cookie cupboard is, except for Poughkeepsie. As I said before, you need to contact me.
So council offices we're talking about.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I forgot about the outline cupboards. Council cupboard, yes.
Someone's asking about the amount she owes council is different than the amount she owes. Is that normal? I think that, Angela, you should contact one of us and we'll go over it with you personally. eBuddy won't let me select an option for the rewards that say pick one.
We'll be covering that.
Okay. So if someone's saying not the military, but a local company, so I think that leader is asking, what about if I want to donate locally? You're welcome. If you have the cookies to donate and you promised your customers you were going to donate them, take them to the organization your troop has deemed will be receiving the cookies.
Okay, I think we've got all
Covered
those
them all.
there, except for the rewards ones, which we'll be covering. Okay. So I'm going to change the presenter back to you.
Okay.
I think, yeah. And we should be on final rewards, screen 14. It's hard when you go from live to the screens because we do have a slide for each of those live screens, and just in case we're not able to do it live, because one never knows with technology. So now Marion has to skip ahead a bunch of screens to get to the place.
Okay, so now we're up to final rewards, and Liz Favola in Middletown is going to tell us about that.
Okay, hi everyone. Troops get profit and girls love that, but girls can also earn some cool rewards, which are shown here on the back of the order card. Next slide, please. Final rewards are calculated on the boxes sold listed in eBuddy. Review the girl totals under the Girl Orders tab, making sure they have been credited for goal getters and booth sales. The final rewards will be shipped to the service unit cookie chair, which Marianne said, around mid-June. Next slide, please. Like I said before, the rewards are pictured on the back of the order card. All rewards are cumulative. For example, if a girl sells 200 boxes, she will receive the theme patch, Samoa earbud pouch, 200 plus number bar, Seize the Day cup and superseller patch, the Turtle plush and 2018 bar patch, and a $15 do-si-do. Oh, this year, she has a choice, starting at 125 boxes, of the featured rewards or additional do-si-do. Please make sure to have the girls make their choices before you go in to fill out your final rewards. Next slide, please. These are the final rewards patches. Girls get the theme patch for selling 35 boxes. And if a girl has 25 boxes credited to her for a booth sale, she gets that patch. Gift of Caring or Op-Drop for 25 boxes. Cookie Techie is for selling 30 boxes in digital cookie. And the numbers bars are earned at the highest level, sold in increments of 100. Next slide, please. Do-si-do. Do-si-do, formerly known as cookie credits, are earned starting at 110 boxes, and they are still good for 3 years. This year, we are introducing a digital account number for do-si-do instead of a card. The account number will be emailed to each girl at the end of the cookie sale. We are looking into this new process and anticipate emails going out in late May or early June. We will send out an eBuddy email to give leaders more information. Okay, now we turn it back to Roberta.
Thank you.
And while we're doing that, the question was asked before about how do the troops get the rewards. And as you saw, they get shipped to the service unit cookie chair, and it's up to her to distribute them to the troops. Sometimes they will give them out, over the summer, or tell people, come to my house and you can pick them up. Sometimes they'll hold them for the first meeting in September. So you can check with your service unit cookie chair to see what happens.
I'm just going to reiterate, since that was a question earlier on in the season, that do-si-do, as Liz just said, is going to be sent differently. Some people were looking for it with their initial orders, since that was something listed, but it's going to happen later in the season, as Liz just said, late May, early June.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about rewards and how you place that order for rewards. So you click on your rewards tab at the top, and then you click on fill out for the final rewards order. And you will get a list of all of the girls in your troop, and it will tell you how many rewards that girl receives. If it says size catalog selection needed, that just means that there is a choice, and you need to mark the choice so that the girl gets something. This at the bottom is the total number of theme patches for this troop, of earbuds for this troop, the total number of girls who reached this level, the number of girls that reached this level, and so on. You don't make the choice here. You click on a girl's name, and then this is where you'll make the selection. So I'm going to go back to my Juliet troop because I can make selections for her and show you how it works. Okay, so I'm going to click on fill out, Now this girl, there's only one girl in this troop, so it's one of everything, except she didn't get to 600, so we don't get that. So now I'm going to click on her name so that I can place her order. So there's no choice here, there's no choice here. Here there is a choice, and her choice is the, wait a minute, which one is this? I wonder why they're out of order. They must be, this is weird, because that's the 200 and that's the 125. I have no idea why. So at the 125, she wants the cup and the super seller patch, so I'm going to click that. At the 200, she wants the turtle plush. At the 450, she wants the pillowcase and the flashlight. But at DOC 60, she wants the $5 of Do-Si-Do. So I'm going to click that. And then I'm going to click Submit Girl Order. Okay, so now it shows me that I have one girl who chose the turtle plush, one girl who chose the Seize the Day, one who chose the pillowcase, and somewhere way down here, DOC 60, it shows that she selected the Do-Si-Do. So if you had a number of girls in the troop, which all of you do, you might find that you had 2 girls here who chose the Do-Si-Do and 3 girls who chose the turtle plush. So that would be the numbers then for your troop. And once you've gotten every girl in there, then you click Submit Reward Order, which I'm not going to click on for this girl tonight. But that's what you would do, is click Submit Reward Order. So that's how you do it. You have to click on the girl's name in order to get the options to make the selections. Hopefully that will clear it up a little bit. And I think that pretty much covers the reward screens. It does. So, Marianne, we're into questions again.
Okay.
Oops. So let's look at the questions.
So one question is, can Do-Si-Do be used online? Go ahead.
Order online from the shops.
I don't think it can be. I think it has. Go ahead.
I don't know. We're going to have to find out.
Liz?
You can't use it online for the shop.
Oh, because
but you can go into a shop,
right?
Or you can call the shop and order it over the phone, but you have to pay for shipping.
Okay.
Someone's asking, where can the Do-Si-Do be used? At the shop, registration, and yes, those are 2 of the ways you can use it. You can use it to attend a program. You can use it toward camp. It can be used at the camp trading post. So there are many uses for it. When we issue those, there will be a list of what things Do-Si-Do can be used for. Since Do-Si-Do is additional, can leader submit requests to get the Do-Si-Do deposited for all girls to troop account for a troop trip? You're ahead of us, Dee. I would think we have to look into that, but previously cookie cards would be turned in and amalgamated for troops to use for a troop trip. So it would be
I think all they would need to do is get the number from each girl and write it on the form, the same as they would write the card number on the form. They'll have to get them from each girl and put them on that form, and then, yeah, it will work the same way.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But the numbers. Mm-hmm.
Someone's asking, where do you see who gets the exceptional entrepreneur in initial order section? The exceptional entrepreneur is to the top entrepreneur, the girl who sold the most cookies during initial order, and there was one girl who earned that. She sold more than 2,000 boxes. Does the Do-Si-Do expire? And as Liz said, that will expire 3 years after it's issued. So you have plenty of time to use that. And you could turn around and use it to re-register for this year. That's what is here for questions.
Mm-hmm. And okay, well, we'll come back to questions at the end. So if you think of something else, put it in. But I'm going to switch back to you, Marianne.
Okay.
I'm going to try to. Why is it not giving me? Okay.
Let's see. I'm going to do it to you. Oh, I just got it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let's see. Let's see what happens. No, that's not it.
Well, let's see. Okay.
I think,
your name's not there.
yeah, I think maybe I'm it. Let me see what happens when, but I can't advance. So I'm going to switch it to you to switch to me, Roberta.
All righty. This is what we mean by sometimes we have technical difficulties. Oops. Came and went. There we go. All right. So I'm doing show my screen, which we're still on.
Okay.
Now we're going to try switching. There we go. Okay.
Okay. So now let's see if this will advance it. Okay. We went through all those live. So now Aurora's going to tell us about Operation Cookie Drop.
Yes, Operation Cookie Drop. Where do all those up-drop cookies go? About half of them go. Have you wondered where do they really go? Okay, so they go to the loading day that this year it's going to happen on June 9th. And the address is 2 Dana Road in Valhalla, the same location that it has been happening for the last few years. And cookies get recased by all of our girls who attend with the help of some young soldiers and sailors. They get stickers that say where they came from. The girls draw on the large cargo boxes that the cases are piled into the shipment overseas. Girls get to do some crafts and visit with our military, young and old, and they have fun. It's really a fun and fabulous event. At least once in your Girl Scout life, you have to attend. It's a very emotional event. From the loading in the Cookie Go, they go to Maryland, where they are loaded onto military ships and sent to the Middle East. Next screen, please. And the rest, it can go to honor flights, Fleet Week, hospitals, Fort Bragg, Fort Dix. That's where the other half of our up-drop cookies go. So it's really delivered to a lot of military, veterans locations and events. So it is a very nice event. So any up-drop questions, ladies?
Let's see. What time is up-drop? 8 o'clock is when it starts. You can come and you can drop your cookies off starting at 8. We would like all of the cookies to be there by 10. And then there will be an official welcome and some, I don't know, some
like an opening ceremony.
Yes, the ceremony. And as soon as the girls drop their cookies off, they can start, you know, doing the activities, making cards for the soldiers, doing swaps, and there's some other things for them to do. And we have photo books of all the previous years of op-drop. It's really interesting to see the progression. It started with one troop and gradually over the years has grown a lot. So it is something that you should do at least once just to get the flavor of it. So 8 to 10 is for drop off. It's usually completely over by about noon. After the ceremonial part, the girls will decorate the great big shipping cartons and put the cases into the cartons, and then they can watch them being loaded onto the trucks and watch the trucks go away. And then it's usually done around noontime.
And you do not have to register, because a lot of people think they have to register. They don't have to register. And if some girls from your troop cannot make it, cannot go, you can just go with your daughter. It's really a fabulous event. So I want to invite everybody who can attend to go.
Right. Somebody's asking what's the last date to submit rewards. I have my calendar. Let me pull it out. It is, when I find May, it should be on your screen, on your calendar in eBuddy. But the troops will be locked out on May 16th at 11:59 p.m. And then the service units are locked out 2 days later. So May 16th for troops.
Someone's asking, what if the troop didn't keep cookies to hand deliver June 9th? Can the girls still come to help with all the other cookies? Definitely. There will be things to do, see, experience. You definitely should come. If you don't have cookies in hand, there are going to be cookies there. We're still going to need to gather them up, put them in cases, seal them. You saw stickers that Aurora just mentioned, to tell the soldiers and sailors where they got these cookies with our address on there. So we hear back sometimes from the people who received the cookies. So do come whether you have cookies in hand or not.
Right. And once again, we will not take cookies at our offices for op drop until after the cupboards close on May 16th. Somebody wants to confirm, she's a new leader, make sure she understands. Yes, you do have to assign the difference number in the girl order screen, the bottom number if it's negative, to each, well, not to each girl evenly. You will assign booth sale cookies evenly to the girls who attended the booth sale. But included in that negative number might be goal-getter cookies. So goal-getter cookies would be assigned to the girl who actually sold them. And then once you have done that, yes, that's when you will do the final rewards, because the level that they reached will be taken from that girl orders screen. So once you've completed the girl orders screen, then you will go in to do the final rewards. And it's really not that difficult. I think the biggest thing this year is to make sure that you have asked the girls what their choice would be. And remember that you have to make a choice. It won't even accept the order unless there has been a choice made. So it's really important that you find out from the girls what they want.
I don't see any other questions.
I don't either. I think we've covered them all.
Okay.
Okay.
All righty. Excellent. I think we're back to you, Aurora.
Yes.
I'm trying to change the picture.
And always,
There
if
it
you
is.
have a question, you can contact any of us and we will be happy to help you answer your questions. And well, as always, we just want to say thank you very much for this exciting cookie season. It was possible thanks to you, to all your help, to everything that you do for your girls, for council, for your service unit. Without you, we wouldn't be here. So thank you again. Have a good night, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Good night, everybody.
Bye. Good night.
Night.